Hey, what is going on? And welcome back to Trieffort, or should I just say welcome to week 1 of this Ironman Chasing Kona vlog series for the 2026 season. I'm Johnny Del Balso, and right now I am 16 weeks out from Ironman Jacksonville, which will be May 17th. Along the way, I'm going to be hitting Ironman Puerto Rico 70.3 March 15th. And yeah, we're giving it a go for Kona again this year. I gave it a crack at Ironman Arizona the end of last season. I was very close. I have potential, but I didn't get the slot. It is very, very competitive with this new qualification system. But we're gonna wind up and give it another go here. I've been busting my ass in the off season to get this body in shape to tackle these next 16 weeks and see what I could do in Jacksonville. So I'm very excited, and yeah, this is gonna be week 1, day 1 of this vlog. And right now, it's Tuesday, January 27th. I have a brick workout on the schedule. We're gonna do this sweet spot interval workout. It's an hour and 15-minute ride with 3 10-minute sweet spot builds. We're gonna be targeting around 295 watts for that. And we're gonna see what I could do. And then we're gonna do a probably 25-minute easy run on the treadmill after that one. So we'll check back in whenever I get this workout going and have some fun with it.
All right, so I lied a little bit on this workout. It's an hour and 15-minute bike ride with 3 10-minute sweet spot intervals, but the power for those intervals is 275 watts, then 285, then 295. So we're kind of like stepping up each interval. I'm doing like a 20-minute warm-up right now, and my warm-ups usually consist of like 5 minutes easy, just kind of ramping up into some power. And then I'll do 3 sets of 30 seconds, really high RPM spinning, maybe 115 to 120 RPM, just kind of spinning the legs out. And then I will do 3 1-minute FTP intervals. And then I'll go back down to easy power for a few minutes before I start my main sets. FTP for me is around 310. I actually refer to that FTP as my fictional threshold power. I do all my testing based off lactate and heart rate to get my zones. So my zones are most accurate for me. I'm not into artificially inflating my FTP just for the internet. So that's just how I do things. I feel like it works very well for me, and my power and everything shows up exactly how I want it to on race day in my actual aero race position. So that's just what I do. But anyways, I got this first 10-minute sweet spot interval here. We'll check back in whenever I am nearing the end of it. We'll see what I did. All right, first 10-minute interval complete. We hit that at 276 watts and like 139 beat heart rate. For sweet spot, I want my heart rate to be in the upper 140s. So that's what we're gonna try to target for these next 2. And I'll check back in after the last one. All right, my goal for this run is just keep it all zone 2. I'm at a 120 beat heart rate right now, 8-minute pace. We're gonna increase the pace a little bit, probably get the heart rate up a tad. We'll get 20 minutes out of this, but really just kind of trying to make this like a recovery brick run from that more intensity style bike ride. So I run the Zwift app on my phone. I got the Zwift pod on my shoe. Not that you can see it there, but yeah. I like running this little app here. Kind of makes your run form kind of matter a little bit more, because if like I overstride, it'll slow my Zwift guy down. But if I have like proper run form, it runs the pace that I have the treadmill set at. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it works for me. So yeah, I got this big treadmill screen, but I'm running this little phone. I'll check back in at the end of this run and we'll recap this workout. All right, run and workout complete. For that run, we did about 3.2 miles, 8-minute average pace, 125 average heart rate. We went 25 minutes on that. For the ride, there's what the little graph looks like. I'll throw a graph in the background. That was 27.5 miles, hour 15-minute ride, 131 average heart rate, 253 normalized watts of power, 240 average watts. Yeah, whatever. That is the brick ride there for Tuesday. I would like to give a quick little rundown of how I set up my standard training week, just so you, whenever you're watching these videos, you kind of see
or you know what I'm doing week by week here. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those are my swimming days. I try to get that done in the morning if I can. And I am going to try to throw in a fourth or even a fifth swim. I need more consistency in the water. The swim is my weakness in the sport. The bike is my strong suit, and I have a pretty solid run off of the bike there. If I could get my swim up on par, I could be a lot more competitive. I'm very competitive as is, but I know I could be at that next level if I got my swim up there. So we're working on it. But anyways, Tuesday, I try to get an intensity bike ride, something like what I did tonight, and then I'll have like an optional brick run off of that. And the brick run on Tuesday will always be easy. It's more just try to flush out the legs and get recovered for the remaining workouts throughout the week. Wednesday, I'll get that swim in there, and I try to do my long run on Wednesday. But my plan is super adaptable. Sometimes I'll push that long run to Thursday if I'm adding more intensity in that or interval work. And as these long runs get really long, I may even throw that on Sunday. I just got to listen to the body. I'm very intuitive with my training, always listening to the body, and I'm really big on injury prevention. So if I feel like I'm pushing it too hard, I'm going to shuffle some things around. Thursday, I try to get in a tempo bike ride, something similar to what I did tonight, but a little bit less power, maybe more longer steady state riding. Again, an optional brick run there. And then Fridays, kind of like a recovery day for me. Same with Monday. Monday and Fridays, those are like recovery. I'll get the swims in. I could go hard on the swim, but any running or riding I do Monday or Friday, those are easy days, super easy. Because Saturday we go, that's the long ride day for me. That could be anywhere from 2 to 5 hours, depending where I'm at with the training. And we'll try to get in a longer brick run off of that, maybe 30 to 40 minutes or so. And then Sunday, I try to get in a run workout. That's like my workout day. Maybe I'll do a track workout or a tempo run or something. And that's pretty much it. My plan is Monday through Sunday. That's my week. That's how I set things up. And I usually try to do like progressive overload for 3 weeks, and then I'll have a down week. So 3 weeks of kind of building, bigger and bigger workouts every week. And then I'll have a down week, shed the fatigue, and get prepared for the next little block. So I don't know, just kind of throwing it out there. Again, this is all super adaptable training that I do. And I don't know, just kind of wanted to share a little insight on what I got going on here. Not that I'm going to follow any of what I just said. But anyways, that's my Tuesday workout here. This is the opening of week 1 of this Chasing Kona vlog. So I'm going to go eat some dinner, and we will check back in tomorrow.
Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. Just finished up a pool session. Felt pretty good in there. I also swam Monday. Like I say, I swim Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday I did threshold 200s. Today I did mix effort 100s. Like the first set I did 50 hard, 50 easy for each 100. The second set I did 25 easy, 50 hard, 25 easy. And then the last set I did 25 easy, 75 hard. So I was just kind of altering where I would really push on that the effort in those 100s. But whatever, I got 2,700 yards out of that one, a 137 average pace for that workout. And yeah, I don't know, whatever. I got to go get into work, clock in, go grab a coffee, and I think we'll do an easy ride after work today.
All right, it is Wednesday evening. I'm down here on the trainer getting in a nice hour aerobic easy ride. I know I said I do my long runs on Wednesday, but the run group I'm in, they actually run it out in indoor track tomorrow. So I'm gonna get in a track workout with the group and just kind of switch it up this week. So that should be cool, get us out of these frigid cold, freezing temperatures here in Ohio and get in a quality run session. I'm currently listening to the Crushing Iron podcast, the How to Not Suck at Swimming episode. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna go get in the pool too, get a little bonus swim session in. That's gonna be about it. This is just an hour ride, nice and easy. Average heart rate's 110, 195 watts. So that's it. Check back in tomorrow.
All right, what is going on? It is Thursday evening. I am here at the Spire Academy with this indoor track here. This place looks awesome. So we're gonna get in a track workout. I got 2 options built up. I'm gonna do a warm up and see how I feel, if I wanna go with the easier option A or the more intensity option B. So we'll see. I'm thinking I might go with the easier option this week, and then maybe if we're doing this again next week, I'll go with the harder option. It's just more time at intensity. Like 4 reps versus 5 reps and a little longer durations and whatnot. I did get in a technique swim this morning, so a little bonus swim for the week. But yeah, we're gonna get to this and check back in. Vapor flies today. I gotta act like I have friends. All right, warm up is complete. I'm gonna do a little bit of dynamic stretching here, and then we're gonna get into the workout. I'm gonna do 5 by 6 minutes around like threshold, a little bit under threshold actually, in between that and like my half Ironman pace. See how I feel with that, and then I'm gonna do, that's gonna be 5 laps around this track. This is a 300-meter track, so a little bit shorter than your standard distance, and then I'll do 1 lap recovery in between each of those intervals. And see how I feel, see if I can hang on to this one. I haven't done, this isn't, you know, super fast speed work, but it's speed work compared to what I've been doing. All right, I am 4 intervals in, taking a little water break or electrolyte break. My watch is not cooperating with the GPS inside here, so I'm supposed to come around each of these intervals around like 6 minutes, and I'm cutting them in at like 5:40. So I'm running a little bit quicker, heart rate's getting up there, but it's just hard for me to judge the pace really, because my watch is telling me it's like 6:40 pace, but I know that's like around 6 minutes or so. So anyways, I'm gonna try to nail this last one, and we'll check back in whenever I'm done with this. All right, the last interval is complete. I learned a little tip on this track. This yellow line here, you run that, that's 300 meters. So I did that for that last interval, and I was able to hit the time spot on. So I was running this workout correctly, just I was cheating it by going to the inside lines, but the pace and everything was there. But yeah, I felt really good for this one. The data won't reflect that because the watch wasn't tracking right. I wasn't wearing a heart rate strap, so some of my intervals I was like 130 beats, and the other ones when the watch would actually pick it up I was like 160 to 163, which is where I should be for this one. But anyways, I'm gonna get a mile cool down here, and that's gonna be it. This was a pretty good Thursday. We're gonna do a easy swim tomorrow and a little bit of recovery, and we'll check back in for the weekend work. All right, it is Friday morning. I took the day off work, had some time to burn, so we're gonna use it for the good today. I'm gonna catch up on some house projects. I gotta work on the tri bike here. I gotta do a swim, gotta do some type of easy bike workout later. I'm just kind of maximize my day off. But right now I'm throwing on the hydration setup on my race bike. I got this dual hydration setup up front here with the Tri-Rig lower cage here. And then this Wove saddle has integrated rear hydration, so I could bolt the Tri-Rig cage on underneath there. I could actually put one up top too, so I could run 2 nice and compact there. I really like this setup. No more zip ties for me as long as I keep running this saddle. I'm still getting used to the Wove saddle so far. Just being stuck on the indoor trainer, that always makes these rides kind of like not feel so great sitting down for hours. And then once you get outside, the saddles work a lot better. But so far, I'm adapting to it, I'll say that. So I don't have a great review just yet, but it works good. But anyways, that's what I got going on here. I did start using these bungee shoelace zip ties for my bottle retention loops. It actually works pretty good. Just kind of throw the bottle in there, throw the loop, boom, done. I was using rubber bands, but the rubber bands only last like so many pulls before they break off, and you do not want those breaking off while you're racing or whatever. So this works actually very, very good. Super cheap. You could make probably 3 or 4 loops with a pack of those shoelaces or whatever. But I'm gonna get to this, finish this up, and then I'm putting in a shower downstairs here. I've been working on this for the past like month. So Just gotta waterproof that. I'm gonna do tile in there. We have like a rainfall shower head and all that, this whole little system here. But I've kind of been dragging ass on doing that. I started that like a month ago over New Year's break. Thought I'd get it done, but then I just started training too much, and that's kind of how projects go for me. But I'm gonna make some headway on that today and stop talking so I could get to this. All right, that is all set up, looking good. This is how I'm gonna run the bike for 70.3 Puerto Rico. This gives me the 3 bottle options plus my in-frame tank, which is plenty for my fueling and hydration needs. And if I need to grab a bottle of water at the aid station, I have that option, but I really, really like trying to be self-sustainable on the bike so I could cruise right past those aid stations, because that time adds up. I will say it's not worth missing the aid stations if you need the fueling. Obviously, that's more important than saving, you know, a few seconds here and there. But for me, that's kind of how I feel like I get some pretty fast bike splits, is by being self-sufficient and just having everything really dialed in, really aero, and that works well for me. For the full Ironman, I may experiment with throwing on this extra cage in the back there. But to be honest, I've never needed 4 bottles plus my in-frame tank for a full Ironman either. I've actually done them with only 2 bottles plus the aid stations or whatever. But we'll experiment with that a little bit in training. Anybody that's been following along, you guys know I love switching up my hydration setup. I have all these great ideas that I like trying out, but I always revert back to like something just like what I know that I like. So that's what I got there. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some work done on this house, and we'll check back in with something throughout the day.
All right, checking in on this Friday evening. Got some housework done. I waterproofed my shower. Just finished up a pool session. There was a middle school swim meet, so I only had like a half an hour to swim. But I got like 1,700 yards in. Nice little mixed threshold pace set. Feeling pretty good in the pool with 4 swims this week. So, but anyways, I got to get home. I have a coaching call to do, and I got to eat some dinner. So that is it for my Friday, and we'll see what we're going to get into tomorrow.
All right, it is Saturday morning. I just took down my Christmas tree. So I'm a month behind when everybody else takes their tree down, but I'm a month ahead of when I usually take mine down. So feeling good, getting some stuff done. I got a package from Zoot in the mail today. I did get my race kit for the season last week, but then I seen that they had a extra sale on their site, so I ordered some more. Actually, I don't even remember what I ordered. I think like a bunch of winter gear. I'm planning to do some cold outdoor riding and running, so I figure I will restock on some warm weather gear. Let's go let this dog out. But yeah, anyways, I had some breakfast. I'm going to go do a bike ride downstairs. I'm going to go work on the house a little bit. I got to do some planning and scheduling for some athletes, and that's it. I got to watch the Supercross race tonight too. So we're going to have a good day. All right, you know what? Let's show off what I got from Zoot here. I'm not pushing product. I'm just showing off what I got, what I like. But yeah, these are the Zoot Elite cycling bibs, the thermal bibs. I don't have a set of riding pants yet, so I figure I'll get some thermal ones. A nice fleecy material. They got a nice thick chamois pad in there. They got some zippers at the bottom, right there. I got the regular Elite bibs with the thick chamois in there. Nice, they're comfortable. I have a set of those in burgundy. Found that I really liked them, so I ordered another pair. I was using all the Castelli bibs. Those are great too, but I like the chamois pad on these better. A little bit thicker, a little bit more comfortable for the longer rides. Yeah, get yourself a good set of cycling bibs if you don't have any yet. It changes the game. These are the Zoot Elite Run Tights. They got 2 side pockets here, great for carrying your phone or water bottles. And then there's a liner in there, so looking forward to having those. And then these are the thermal toe covers for your cycling shoes to keep your toesies warm. So yeah, that's what I got. I'm gonna wear the Zoot Elite bibs on my trainer ride down here today, and we'll check back in with that. All right, let's get this workout going. It's another boring indoor workout, so I'm probably not gonna film much of it, but I wanted to gloss over how I set up my nutrition, my fueling. This is individualized for me, but you could see what I got going on and maybe, I don't know, apply it to your own system or whatever. For training, I'm not fueling as much as I would on racing because I'm not pushing race intensity. So I have a 2.5 hour ride today with 3 by 15 minutes at sweet spot power. The watts today, that's 80% of FTP. And then the rest is all zone 2. So you're not really burning a bunch of carbs in zone 2. For my carbs, I'm using Formula 369. And for my electrolytes, I'm using their electrolyte booster. This does have electrolytes in it, but this is lemonade flavor, and I want this to taste good today. So this actually tastes good alone. It's more just like a unflavored whatever. I'm not trying to sell anything, but I do have a discount code, and it's Johnny20, and you could save some money on this stuff, but you don't even have to use my code because it's super, super cheap anyways. Like 5 times cheaper than anything else, and it works the same. It's the same shit. So this is what I'm using for all my training, most of my racing, unless I'm using on-course nutrition or if I'm taking gels. So this is what I'm fueling in all the videos you're gonna see. I'm not gonna do a video like this for every single vlog that we're doing. Every once in a while, I'll pop this up here and just kind of show what I'm using. Or if I'm using, like I do the Morton gels, or I'll do like precision gels too. For today's ride, for racing, I target 100 grams of carbs an hour. For something like this, I could do like 60 grams of carbs an hour. But I'm gonna set up each of these bottles with 75 grams, and that's gonna cover my workout today. My sweat rate, I usually try to target 35 to up to 50 ounces of fluids an hour. This is a controlled environment, 3 32-ounce bottles for a 2.5 hour ride. That's gonna cover my hydration needs. And for my electrolytes, I've been sweat tested. I do 650 milligrams of sodium loss per 32 ounces of sweat. So that's what I'm gonna concentrate these bottles to make sure that they have hit all those numbers. Everybody's different. So just throwing it out there. But I wanted to provide some type of valuable content instead of me just sitting on the trainer like this and I'll do a bunch of little clips around me or whatever. We're gonna go get this done and we'll check back in.
All right, I am 1 hour and 35 minutes into this ride. I just finished my third 15-minute interval. I hit those at 250 watts, 255, and that last interval at 260 watts. So just a little bit of build progression throughout this workout. I'm feeling really good. I'm sweating a lot. I'm getting through that nutrition good. I did plan this nutrition for the brick run off too. I forgot to mention that. That's kind of why I upped the carbs a little bit. Yeah, feeling good. I got 50 more minutes to go here. And I'm gonna decide what I want to do for the brick run. I might keep it really short and sweet and just kind of put all the eggs in tomorrow's longer run basket. I get a little bit tentative with my running. Just I'm real injury prone at times. So we'll see, play this one by feel, and I'll check back in. All right, workout complete. That was 2.5 hours on the bike. I did a 20-minute run off. I started the run, I was gonna do a mile, and I got through that, and I'm like, I'll go to 10 minutes. I got through that, I'm like, I'll go to 15 minutes. I'll go to 2 miles. I might just do the 20 minutes that I was planning. So anyways, I got to feed these dogs. They've been patient with me while I've been getting my workout in. So they get some treats and some food, and I need to eat some dinner. Actually, I need to eat lunch too. Kind of like failed my actual whole food today. But anyways, that's Saturday's work. Tomorrow we're going to do a nice, easy, longer aerobic run or whatever. So say goodnight. All right, that's it. All right, we are going to wrap up week 1 of this training with a long run on this Sunday. I know I said earlier in the week I usually do my long runs on Wednesday, but since we pushed that track workout to Thursday, we're just adapting the plan a little bit this week. So I'm going to go out, do a pure zone 2 run. I'm not going to push no ego pace or anything. We're going to go for 1 hour and 15 minutes, see how the body holds up. It's like 15 degrees out, so I'm layered up pretty good right now. But yeah, we're going to get to this one and we'll check back in. All right, I am 7 miles into this run right now. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm lying. I kind of feel sluggish. I feel like my body is really slow moving right now, but I'm just keeping this pace nice and chill. I'm not looking at the watch or the data, but I'm getting beep updates every mile, And I seem to be hovering around like 8-minute flat pace. So that's good enough for me today. I've been pretty sore since that track workout Thursday. It's just kind of carrying over the fatigue. And I'm looking forward to a little recovery day tomorrow. Oh yeah, just a little update and we'll check back in.
All right, that is run and week complete. We got 10.5 miles, an hour and 25 minutes. That was 8:05 average pace, 134 average heart rate, and that wraps up week 1 of this Ironman Jacksonville Chasing Kona vlog. We got almost 12 hours of training in this week. We will pick it up a little bit more next week and yeah, take it from there. So as always, I thank everybody for tuning in, following along, and let's keep this rolling. So see you next week.